Hey there, Regina Anley here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, our theme is AI ethics. Now, what is that all about? Ethics in general is basically about how you do your business, how you ethically run your business. Are you fair, transparent? Do you run your business with integrity? It's aligned with all of your human values. Now, when it comes to using AI tools, the same rules apply. You want to use AI technology honestly, transparently, with integrity. You want to let people know, hey, I created this with AI if that's appropriate. So, there's a lot of people out there now, popping out AI books left and right and all of this content. And while you don't need to say all of it's created with AI, you might want to make sure that your audience knows that you're using AI as a tool to help you with this content. I mean, when you think about it, if you have a VA who's creating content for you, do you say, my VA created that content, not me? Most people don't. However, when you're working with people and they say, you want to be open and upfront with this because you're hiring people, VAs, to create this content for you, to create videos for you, to create images for you, and whatever it is that they do. You're creating humans to do this. Now, as a business owner, that's part of you're hiring them to do that for you. You're hiring them so you can outsource it and take it off of your plate. So you're not constantly walking around going, oh, hey, my VA, this one did this, this. That's not how it works. However, you are letting people know when you're working with your clients and that kind of thing, if you're not the one who created something and your VA did it, you want to be open and transparent that says, yeah, I have a team of VAs that helps me out with this information. Same rules apply for AI tools. Think of it just like a VA who's doing some of this work for you. What work would you disclose your VA doing? If you would disclose something saying, oh yeah, my VA creates those images for me. My VA does my social media posts for me. Oh, my VA was responding to those messages. Same thing applies to AI tools. If you have a chat bot who is responding to messages back and forth, you want to let people know that they're talking to a chat bot, that they're not talking to a live human. They're talking to AI. Now, most of the chat bots that I've seen out there, the good ones that I've seen, they start out that way. They might say that, they might start out with a name. They're like, oh, hey, I'm Sarah. I'm a chat bot. I'm here to assist you today. How can I help? Right off the bat, they tell you you're talking to a chat bot. So that's a few things that I want to talk about today. I have 5 ethical do's and don'ts about how to use AI. So the first one is be transparent. AI is a tool that is helping you. So be transparent when they help you. Let your audience know. So that chatbot example, if you're using a chatbot, let people know, hey, you're talking to a chatbot. If you're creating a book or something, you're creating something massive, even a lead magnet or something, you might want to say, it was created using the assistance of this AI tool. Don't pretend that everything came from your brain. Put it this way. If you can't, without anything in front of you, without any notes, without any information, without a computer, without your phone, if you cannot repeat back whatever it is in that training, that post, or whatever it is that you put out there, if you can't say it out of your brain, then make sure you're citing the source. And if that source happens to be ChatGPT, Claude, Google, whatever it is, you might want to cite that source too, because it's not something that you know off the cuff. Now, I don't recommend actually creating content that you couldn't just teach off the cuff anyways. However, lots of people are doing that right now, and they're putting stuff out there that enhances what they do. But, backed into a corner, if you're sitting with them face to face, they can't necessarily do that same training. They can't tell you what it was. If you ask them, well, what was that thing you were talking about figuring out who your ideal audience is? If they can't tell you what that is or whatever it is that you're training, then they're probably not using AI tools authentically and ethically. So don't pretend everything came from your brain. That's number one. Number two is use AI to support you, not replace you, and not replace your voice. So when you're using AI, make sure you're going in there and you're using it to create stuff, you're using it to help you out, you're using it to come up with ideas. That is fabulous. It's great. That's what these tools are for. Now make sure that you go in and you put your stamp on it. It needs to be you. Don't copy or mimic somebody else's stuff. This should be authentically, uniquely you, everything that you're doing. So when you say, put this in the style of someone else, that's fine. You're modeling their style. If you say, make it sound like that person, so maybe you're creating some emails and there's a person that you really like their email style. I know I follow Amy Porterfield all the time. She's big with teaching on email stuff. Now, I see her emails come in and I like her emails. She has really great emails because, well, that's what she does. So I can say, do it in the style of Amy Porterfield. But if I say sound like Amy Porterfield, that's where you're starting to cross a line. So from an ethical standpoint, make sure that your voice is your unique, authentic voice. Number three is protect private information. From an ethical standpoint, you're working with a client, you're helping somebody out. You're looking at some of your client sources that they send you and you're running them through some AI. Make sure you tell them, hey, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it through AI and here's what I'm going to do with it. And make sure you have their permission. And absolutely do not post confidential client data into any of these tools. Make sure you're using them authentically because you do not want to have stuff out there, that is proprietary information or something that, could harm the other person. That's ethical business. Do no harm, right? So make sure if you're like summarizing a client session or something like that, especially if you're in the health field, maybe you're a therapist and you want to use AI to summarize some notes. Maybe you did a taping, an audio, and you want AI to summarize it. There could be sensitive information in there. Pay attention to what you're putting in AI. Use it ethically. I'm not sure if HIPAA comes in there at all. I'm guessing there's something there. It's been a long time since I looked at anything HIPAA related as far as the medical field is concerned, but I'm guessing HIPAA has a lot to say about what you're putting in there with regard to patient client data. So be careful what you put out there. Number four is to double check the facts. Remember, these AI tools, it doesn't matter which one you're on. I mean, they're all, right now we're in a spot where they are all flip-flopping all over the place. So it's like, ChatGPT is king today, Gemini is king tomorrow, Claude is king, Jasper's king. They're flip-flopping. New tools are coming out. There's new ones coming out all the time. FormWise came out, and there's so many cool tools that are out there. Just remember, they're AI tools. They're pulling information from their sources. Most of their sources are all from the internet. And, there was an old commercial here a while back that said, if it's on the internet, it has to be true, right? Well, that's not true. There's a lot of junk out there. There's a lot of misinformation out there. And the AI tools are that's their job. They're a robot. They are just pulling what they find and plopping it into a document for you. And some of it sounds really, really true and perfect, and it sounds right, and it could be completely false. So make sure you double check your facts. AI can make it sound super confident and still be really wrong. So verify data, verify quotes, any research you're doing. Don't assume that everything AI says is accurate, because I can tell you right now, it's not. So make sure you're the expert, be the expert and put your expert stamp on it. Make sure your content reflects that knowledge that's in your head. You're the one who knows the stuff. It's not just some bot out there making some random guesses to what it is that you want to say. Should be coming from you, not from it. And then last but not least, when you create something, whether it's an image, whether it's a video, an audio, an application, whatever you're creating with AI, ask yourself, would I be proud to explain how I created this? If you don't want to tell the world, hey, that awesome AI tool gave me an assist here, and me working with the AI tool, we created something amazing. If you're not proud to say that, then take a step back and maybe tweak your process a little bit. Because if you're okay saying that, then you're definitely on ethical ground. You're good to go. But if it doesn't sound like it feels good in your gut, then chances are it probably isn't. And guess what? Your clients, your audience, they're going to pick up on that. They're going to know, and they're going to question that. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things right now with AI and business use of AI is that businesses left and right are absolutely positively losing the trust of their audience, their clients, their followers, because they're unethically using AI tools. And here's the thing, most of them don't realize that they're doing it. They're just using these tools and they think everything's okay, and they're wondering where people are going. It's because you're losing trust. People are catching on. They're going, yeah, she used AI to create all of this stuff. She probably doesn't even know. She probably couldn't even spit it out if I asked her to say it. You want to show up uniquely and authentically you all the time. Your unicorn factor. Find that inner unicorn and unleash that inner unicorn when you're using these AI tools and put your stamp on it. Make sure people know that it's all you. It's coming from you. AI is just helping you organize the thoughts, organize the content, and put the words in the right way so that, it comes out really good and you can go out and publish it and it's all good. And when people ask, never ever be ashamed to say, yeah, AI helped me do this. I write blogs personally. I write blogs and articles and I do all kinds of stuff every single week. And I tell people all the time, I use AI every single day. It helps me create stuff. It helps me think. It helps me brainstorm. It helps me mastermind. I mastermind with AI all the time. It is a fabulous tool. Let people know that you're using it. Use it ethically and responsibly in your business. Make sure you keep and maintain that trust that you work so hard to build with your audience. So that's what I've got for you today. If you have any question about AI ethics, just pop them into the comments underneath the video here. I'd be happy to answer any questions. So if you're thinking, I don't know, is this an ethical use of AI? Is this an ethical use of AI? Am I doing this right? If you have any questions at all, just pop a question in below. I'll be happy to help you out there. Okay? That's what we've got for this week. We'll see you next time on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.